I'm Justin Mahacek. I'm one of the founders of the American Liberty Association. We are a nonprofit organization that is bridging the gap of Judeo-Christian values with libertarian political philosophy to reach an audience for the liberty movement that hasn't really been reached.
One of the things that I've seen is that this liberty movement is a far-reaching, very wide movement. It ranges from folks who are very progressive, anti-war, liberal in their social beliefs, folks who are capital L libertarians, folks who are lowercase liberty believers, and then you have this kind of emerging group of folks who are evangelical, who have kind of stepped away from that neocon mindset, who are saying, you know what, maybe this doesn't best represent what I believe in terms of my spiritual beliefs and my relationship with God. What are you seeing in terms of trying to bridge that gap and bring people along who are kind of confused at this point?
Well, I think that the theme there that you talked about is something that Dr. Paul spoke about a lot, and something that we really try to amplify in our message is that liberty brings people of different ideas and ideals together. We're able to unify through our differences because we all want to be free to be different, right? So this is the beauty of the message, is that we don't have to agree. All we have to do is agree to disagree, right? So I think the idea that we're sort of trying to get through to people is, look, as long as we can all agree that we should be free to be able to worship the way we want, to be able to live the way we want, to be able to teach our kids the way we want, to be able to, keep as much of our fruits of our labor as we want, our wages and income. As long as we can do these things, then we can agree on a large level that our rights and the Constitution can be protected. You said that you think that some of the evangelicals maybe are stepping away from a neocon mindset. I think that maybe a better representation of that is that they didn't realize that they had been sort of lulled into that mindset. I think now people, even evangelicals, will start to wake up and say, no, I believe in limited government. I believe in smaller government. I believe in these things, these sort of traditionally conservative values. And I feel like, where we are now is as I talk to people and educate people on what's happening with the establishment and the GOP and with the government and the sort of the real fascist ideas that are infiltrating our policies, that they say, no, I'm not for those things. Those are not part of my values and principles and political ideals. So I don't know that people are moving away from it as much as they're just realizing what the true agenda of the neocons are, and I don't think they like it. So,
well, I think you make an excellent point there. In fact, that segues into exactly what we're trying to do with this Truth in Media project that we put together. I mean, the idea is that part of the reason that the two political parties that are in power right now have the power they have is because of a lack of information, a lack of good information, and that folks have been defined primarily by what they're not, as opposed to what they actually are and what they actually believe. And so what we believe is that by bringing truth into media, and unless we bring it into media specifically, that this really isn't an education battle that can be won. Unless media begins to give people a clear understanding that there is another way to think about these things, then people are stuck. What's your opinion on that?
I agree. I love what you've been doing all through the primary season and the election. Honestly, I really didn't watch a lot of news on linear television or even on cable television because it wasn't giving the coverage that I knew to be true. It's like I'm watching things happen within my parties, local parties and things like that, within the national party, within things happening, and nobody is really reporting the facts. They want to hit these, surface issues that don't matter, that don't bring out what the candidates really stand for and what they're really up to. And so I would tune into YouTube and watch Ben Swan, and I would, go to the internet and Facebook and Twitter and find the articles that really were capturing the facts and the good information out there to be able to do these things. So to make an educated decision, I guess. And so that's where I think absolutely the Truth in Media Project is needed. It's necessary. The more information we have out there and the more good information we have out there, the more people can actually, figure out and sift through the nonsense. I mean, look at right now. All they're reporting on right now is the Zimmerman trial, right? And yet you've got Congress going crazy on NSA and Snowden, and you've got the immigration bill that they're trying to really ram down our throats and everything else. And so, they're not reporting on the things that are going to affect our lives day in and day out. I would say to people that are considering supporting the Truth in Media Project, or to people that, think that there's a need for more media that's factual, that's unbiased, that's going to get you the information that you need to make a good decision, that you need to donate and support Ben Swan and the Truth in Media Kickstarter project. The desire and the hunger in our society and American culture is there, and if the facts can be fed to that hunger, then we will see another revolution. We will see a rise back to the Constitution, constitutional government, and freedom and liberty that we need desperately in this country. And so I hope that you will support them. I think that their goals are reasonable. I think the amount may seem like a lot of money, but it's really, when you're talking about video and media and trying to push it out, and the endless black hole that is the consumption of this generation, we need the funds to be able to support that. We need to support people that are stepping out like Ben Swan and taking on this responsibility. And I commend you, and I hope that you will donate and support his project, because it's needed and it's necessary.